So, having looked through all the difficulty modifiers in the new difficulty update, I believe it's number 5, instead of taking normal mode and making it more challenging with this list, which I love the sheer variety. This is a long list of a lot of different difficulty modifiers. I'm very happy that Noise Storm has done this much in addition to the game to make it just the right challenge level for every player. But rather than playing in normal, I'm going to take easy and I'm going to add several of these difficulty modifiers so that I can get exactly somewhere about halfway between easy and normal mode and kind of get just the balance that I've been talking about in previous weeks. So as you can see, easy mode automatically gives you a +1 in the challenge realm, and I've selected regenerating enemies, buffed enemies, evolved enemies, and volatile explosions. And hopefully this will give me just the level I want in Crab Champions. And if not the case, obviously I can come back and take off or add on other difficulty modifiers. But without further ado, let's see what happens. Apparently, in addition to other adjustments in the new update, there are these new like objects islands, like for instance this barrel here that can kind of move around and interact with the play. Like, whoa, it's just way out off to the side there. Did anyone see that? I thought it was a UFO for a second there. So as I was mentioning, there are these objects such as barrels that you can use to kind of, go a certain distance. And that was weird the way the skull came out a moment ago. Anyway, to kind of use these elements to your advantage when trying to blow up other enemies, as opposed to, I think it was just the boulders before, that if you really knew what you were doing, you could kind of blow them up and take out some crabs or, some other basic type villains in the game. But I really like this because it's kind of like another layer to the slugs. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll want to go and check out the video I did a couple weeks ago on slugs. But anyway, there are these slugs in Crab Champions that, they move around. And if you know what you're doing, you can get them kind of in a nice position and then blow them up, which obviously destroys the slug. But it also takes out whatever is close enough to them. So you could take out several crabs or other villains in the game, possibly. So what does somebody say in their last video, possibly? I don't know. I've never done this before. In all the different YouTube channels I've never quite had this sort of situation going on. I mean, obviously, the first 2, 3... Okay, it was 4 weeks. The first 4 weeks were really rough. I was still trying to find my rhythm as I came into gaming for the first time. The fact that I'm using a laptop that is 2 years old and has all kinds of video and photography projects on it, simply for the fact that I am a creator in many different realms, and I just have a lot of gigabytes and taking up space on my computer and sometimes slowing down the overall speed, and especially when I open a lot of that stuff and then I come in to try to play Crab Champions. I'll tell you, a lot of the reason I've decided to kind of ditch this and move on is not because of the low subscriber count or the lack of likes and comments. I mean, I really am making these videos and I'll go and watch them myself, and I really enjoy that. So anyway, because these music videos that I've done, and they're over on Instagram on a completely different account, have nothing to do with Crab Champions, and I've really enjoyed doing those instead of playing Crab Champions and editing the videos. I just kind of want to, remove this out of my time in the week. I'm still going to play Crab Champions, and I'm really loving the round I've had so far. I like the added difficulty that I've been able to put on, and at the same time, I'm at Island 6, and I think I'm doing quite well as compared to many of the times I would play in normal mode with no difficulty modifiers added on. And this is getting a little bit crazier. Like, these guys are really tough, and I really need to get out of the way. And I'll tell you that the favorite videos that I did in, the 15 videos I've done on the channel, including this one, the favorite videos I've had have been the montages, and I feel like every montage I have gotten better at doing them. And the unfortunate thing is the views have gone down in that. I think most people have seen the what I consider the worst montage of Crab Champions I've done. I mean, it's not a bad montage, and I did my best work at the time, but I'm better now at it. And the last two, especially, I like both of those. I've liked where those have been at, and you know, when I am posting and I'm not getting those views on those projects, and it's like, oh, the community here isn't even sharing, what I love, then I feel like moving on to doing these music videos and investing more time in those because those are something that I love. Oh, there's a barrel right there next to a crab. Let's see how this works as it chaotically rolls away. Come on. It looks cool, though. That's something. I think there's little force fields around these slugs over here. Has anyone seen that? I think we have an enraged grub, too, so... Oh! This is what Crab Champions is supposed to be. Look at this absolute chaos of all these different critters that are coming at me. And me, the jumping around and the shooting wildly and the, target, and then get out of the way as quickly as possible. As Noisestorm pointed out in his meeting on Monster Cat's Discord a couple weeks ago, I mean, that is something that makes the game interesting. That just go with the auto rifle and, just to stay very classic and true with what you start with, that he would cite that as his second favorite weapon just because of how interesting it is. I think the biggest takeaway from my time here as Pizza Crustacean has been that I tried something new, and I had some successes, and I definitely had some failures. Noisestorm, if you're watching this, which you probably aren't because almost no one is. Noisestorm, if you're watching this, I love the difficulty update number 5. Everything you've done with it, I don't see anything I would change about it. Thank you very much, and I know you're going to do a lot more, and you've already done so much for us, and I just can't wait to see what comes next. And please know that I will be here for the long term. I will be coming to this game at every spare moment I can get for months and, if possible, years to come. Thank you to those of you that did subscribe, and if there is some things that I could change, or something that you would like to see, something, maybe could try this a couple more weeks, let me know. I don't want to give up on those of you who are out there. I mean, you are important to me. One thing I'm not happy about is the way the audio quality has come across in the videos. I love the microphone that I have. I dare say it's better than the Blue Yeti microphone. Some of you probably know which microphone I'm talking about if you were, keeping up with some of the community content recently. But the problem is, even with the balance, the best I can have it. And by the way, I have feedback on this, so I hear myself talking, and it's quite loud on my side. It's just below intolerable, I'd say. But then I go back and listen to videos, and like the sound effects are almost non-existent. The music, which is so awesome, is almost undistinguishable. And then my voice even is just not as loud as it should be, even with the best possible balance I can get in my standard mixer. All of these videos, by the way, haven't been scripted. I've just gone off of what comes to my mind as I'm talking. I think I can get over this skull if I really, really, really work at it. I'm just so close, and if I do, it feels like, this is significantly difficult, but it's not like I can't win. Yeah, oh, gone. I don't know. Definitely got to take off 1 or 2 of those difficulty levels, but I like what this was. This is good. This is good. Let's continue with this. And this is probably where it ends for me. Stop making the videos, but not stop playing the game. Finally, the game is somewhere where it's easy enough for me to progress along, but it's challenging enough to keep it exciting and interesting, something I can pour my energy into. And so you can just know that, somewhere off in the distance, Pizza Crustacean lived out his last days on the island, in peace and solitude as he chilled and blasted a lot of villains. And with that, thank you all so much. Goodbye.